So when you open up Word, what I'm using is our Remote Administration Services Guide. I'm going to be playing with this today. I'm going to probably destroy this document and probably upset Marshall and Jaleesa and everything by some of the things I'm about to do to this document. But some of the basics you can see at the top is the basics toolbar. And as you click on each one of these things, it gives you different options that you'll be able to utilize in doing editing of a document or reviewing a document, etc. I'm going to dig into some of this stuff a little bit more than most. I'll start out with some of the basic things, quick keys you can do, and then we'll go to some more advanced features. So let's say that, for example, we'll go down here. You want to copy something. I want to copy this right in here, right? So all I'm going to do is highlight what I want to copy. I'm going to press Control-C, all right? And then I'll go put it where I want it to be. I'm going to put it down here just because I can. And when I go down here, I'm going to press Control-V. Control-V is automatically going to go ahead and paste it. Now, let's say that I have decided that, you know what, I don't want that there. I can simply go to the back button and eliminate it. Something else I can always also do, though, to cut. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of you are probably aware of this because you can also do this in Excel. It seems to be pretty standard across a lot of the Microsoft products. But I can hit Control-X, all right, and that's going to cut that out of there. And then once again, I can press Control-C and put that back in there all over again, and it'll end up going back in. So as far as my next thing is the zoom layout, and a lot of folks don't really pay attention to this. They always go up into the toolbar and they mess around with things up there. Well, you don't need to, folks. All you have to do is go down here on the right-hand side, and you can zoom in and out of the document right here on the right-hand side. You can even change the layout. Now, there's an area up here you can change the layout as well. I'll show you that. But you can change it so it's side by side and you're reading it. We can decrease it down to 100% or 75% or whatever. A lot of times when we're working on these things in marketing, we'll jack them up to 250% or 175% or whatever while we're working on them. But as you can see by here, you can simply go down here. You can even change it to a web layout if you want it to look like what it would look like on a website. It's a very useful tool, all by clicking on these keys down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Let's go to View. View, you can do the same thing. You can change things vertically. You can make it even read aloud. If you wanted to read to you while you're working or whatever, you can use that feature, that function. But you can do your zooming in and zooming out. And as you can see, it's obviously a lot faster to do it down here. You can make it one page or multiple pages. And I do that a lot when I'm doing the webinars. I'm sure most of you are aware of how this works, but this is where you're going to change your view. You can rearrange windows and play around with that a little bit. Next thing I wanted to show was a quick and easy way to delete a word, just one word after you have typed it. You don't have to keep pressing backspace. Everybody always wants to use that backspace key to get rid of something or hold it down, and sometimes you hold it down and you go too far. Just put your cursor after the word and simply hit Control backspace and the whole word's gone. All right, it's that simple. And of course, we can go ahead and put that back in there by simply going up here and reversing everything that we're doing. We want to right-click for Smart Lookup. So let's say Flycast Partners. We want to highlight Flycast Partners, and we're going to do a Smart Lookup. What that's going to do is give us information about Flycast Partners or anything that it can find that's relative to whatever we've highlighted. So you'll notice over here, it'll talk about spelling. It's talking about hosting videos. Here it's doing Flycast Partners reviews. It's got our website over here. It brings up different aspects of whatever we've highlighted. And you can do this with any word. And let's say that you're just looking for, a replacement for the word. If you can do Smart Lookup like this, and you basically can get the source information. You can get whether if it's a noun or pronoun. You can get any type of information you want to even replace that word with something different by using the Smart Lookup function. So when you get to the formatting of a document, yeah, you can go to the top here and you can highlight everything and reformat. But an easier way to do that is to just highlight what you want to reformat here and then you're going to just use the control space, and bam, you've cleared the formatting just like that. Or on the newer version, and a lot of people are not aware of this, on the newer version of Word, this little eraser up here, yeah, guess what? That automatically clears your format just like that. See, it's gone. And we can get our format back by going here and doing that. And of course, you can select all for the document and do that as well. It's a quick and easy way to format. And if you have a question, this is a great feature that Word has. And if I'm moving too quick, I probably am. I'm probably not going to take the full hour on this. But you can go up here and type what you want it to do. And let's say change. I'm going to do change font to red. And then hit enter. Guess what? It's going to change it to red, just like that. Whatever thing you want it to do. Let's see, change font to bold. Bam, it changes it to bold just that quick, just by going up and tell me what to do. That is one of the neat little features that they added to the latest versions of Word. And you can actually go up there and type in just about anything you want to do in a document, and it's going to do it for you. You don't even have to know where to look for it on the toolbar. It's not necessary. It's not necessary at all.
So if you don't select something and you say just say change font to red, is it going to change all the fonts?
Well, you know what? I've never actually done that before. I'm going to be honest with you. So let's see if it does. Let's see what it does. Nope, it doesn't. So you've got to select, obviously. All right. I only found that feature, by the way, quite by accident one day. So it's cool stuff. All right. And faster highlight is to double click for a word or triple click for a sentence. So what I mean by that is, let's say that I want to highlight we, right? So I'm just going to double click we like that. It's going to highlight it. But let's say that I want to go ahead and highlight the entire sentence. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me get out of there because I did it. I'm going to click 3 times. And it's going to highlight that whole next sentence for me. And that is going to show that that's the area that I want to modify that easily. It's that simple. Instead of going through and selecting and dragging and selecting all your stuff like that, it's a simple double click or triple click. Triple click will give you the whole next sentence. It will automatically highlight for you. Double click will only get you the word that you're double clicking on. Everybody understand? No questions. I'm moving at the speed of light on this, and I'm probably going to get into some other things that you probably don't care about too. So just letting you know. All right. So one of the things that I do a lot is insert links, right? We all want to do that insert link thing. So for inserting links, there's 2 ways of doing that. You can go to, let's go to my Flycast Partners. Let's go. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to go Flycast Partners right here. I can go Control K like this and automatically go in and put the address that I want it to link to. Right here, I'm going to say www.flycastpartners.com. Bam, there it is. I've got Flycast Partners linked up that way. That's one way of doing it. Or you can simply right-click on it. And you can, of course, you can remove your hyperlink just like that. And you can go in and right click on it and you can add a new link. So that's 2 different ways, the Control K and the right click in order to insert links quickly. I like to use the control keys a lot. It makes it easier. Now, when you want to select a default font for a particular document and you want to send it for permanently, because here you can go up here and you can select and change fonts here throughout the document. I don't like to work that way. I like my font to be set for the entire document throughout, so I don't have to worry about it and we won't run into errors. As a matter of fact, about a month or so ago, Kim and I were having problems with a document. We were working on it. It kept changing fonts and having all kinds of different issues. If you go over here in your toolbar, you're going to design, you go under fonts, you select the font. Let's say I'm going to go Arial. All right. And I can change effects. I can change whatever I want in here. And then you can hit set as default, and it will automatically change the font throughout the entire document. It's going to go Arial from this point forward is what it's going to be. Well, this document happens to already be in Arial, so that's not going to help us. So let's put it in something where it'll be a little bit more drastic. All right. So we're going to say yes, and it's going to apply the font as we go forward.
Rich, does that apply the font to every Word doc you open then, or just this specific one?
Just this specific document.
Okay.
Only for this one document. Yep.
Question, Rich.
Yeah.
What is the font that we're supposed to be using for emails?
Well, we are trying to use Arial for just about everything. That's what our standard is, because Helvetica is actually the font that Flycast Partners started on, and the Arial is the closest to the Helvetica. So everything we do is based on Arial. And it just started out that way because that's how the company started. Bill Doucette started all that, and it takes a lot to change all that. All our documents are done that way too.
Helvetica New.
Yep, Helvetica New is what it's called. That's correct, yes. Any other questions on what I just showed as far as selecting the font? No? Everybody understand that? So Control F is how you can navigate and do searches throughout a page. And all you have to do when you hit Control F, it's going to bring up your navigation bar. And you can type in, what are you looking for in this document? Okay, so I'm looking for, I don't know, we're going to say customer for the heck of it. And so it's going to show me all the results for customer throughout the document. It's going to show me the little blips of where you can find customers at. And that can be very useful when you're looking for a particular topic in a long document that might be several pages, like 10, 15 pages or whatever. That can be very useful. When you want to do replace, that's a pretty easy thing to do, right? I think most everybody on here understands how that works, but we're going to show it anyway. You go up here and you can do a replace, which means that you can actually find what you want to replace. Let me get rid of some of the stuff we've got up here. So you know how to find through the navigation, but I want to do a replace. And so what that's going to do is bring up this box here. And I'm going to replace customer. I know we're going to replace it with guest. All right, just for the heck of it. No particular reason at all. And I'm going to go ahead and replace them all. So there's 14 replacements. Now we can do it one by one, or we could do it all at once. So I'm going to hit OK. And so right now, everywhere that used to have customer now says guest. Now there shouldn't be guest anywhere in this document. So as we look through this document, we're going to see, look, our valued guests are showing up all over the place. To find that guests, and you notice it changed out guests plural as well. It's going to go ahead and make those changes. So obviously we don't want guests in this document. We're going to go cut this out of here, paste that up here, and we want to go back to customer. That's simple. We're going to replace all. We should have 14 replacements. Voila, look, we've got our customers back. They're all over the place. So valued customer and valued customers, they're back in the document that quickly. Any questions on that? All right. So I'm going to shut this document, right? I'm going to close it out. And this is a feature that I think is really cool. Let's say that this has happened to me, unfortunately, many times where we have like a power surge and my desktop goes out and everything shuts down on me, and sometimes it'll auto save. And so the document's closed out and I've lost my place altogether. So if I close this document out, and even if I just close it like here, I'm going to just do don't save. All right, now I go back in to reopen this document up. Dun, dun, dun. Just like that. And as soon as I hit, I'm on the document, as soon as I hit Shift F5, it's going to take me back to where I ended in the cursor. Bam. All right, so the Shift F5 is going to take you to where the last place that the cursor was from when you started, and that's all you have to do. Okay, and I went down to show you how it took me back to the top because that's where I ended up at. So when you want to add content to a space, you want to save a space for additional content. This is a really cool feature, especially when you're in the process of composing a document or composing a very long email or making a report, even for that matter. And this is really useful. And I want you to, this is something that in marketing we definitely find useful. So I want to go here, I'm going to press, and I want to insert some spaces, extra spaces in my document. Oh, let me get out of there. Second. I want to insert some extra spaces in my document that are just kind of like a placeholder, so to speak. So to insert a placeholder of space, I'm going to hit my equal sign. Okay. Then I'm going to type the word lorem, L-O-R-E-M, and then I'm going to put a comma, and I'll put the number of paragraphs I wanted to reserve. So I want to reserve 3 paragraphs, and I want to allow for, let's say, I'm going to say 15 lines. And then I'm going to head and close that up like that, and then hit enter. And it's going to automatically reserve that space within my document for me to utilize. Just that easy. Everybody understand what I just did there?
That's cool.
What does lorem mean?
That is a great question for Microsoft. Why don't you Google that and find out? There, Matt.
Actually, it has nothing to do with Microsoft. They won't even be able to answer that for you. Lorem is from ipsum lorem, which is Latin, which we as designers use as filler place, as text placeholder. Damn it! I still didn't get that sentence right.
Anyway, just know that this is a really cool thing to reserve space. And I could definitely see Kim using this in doing SOWs or contracts or something like that. Making space for things to add later on and stuff like that. I could see it pretty useful there. Kim, have you ever used that function before?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, maybe not. So anyway,
I never even heard of it. So.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, see, so now everybody's learned something, right?
Yep.
It's kind of cool. So, and of course, you can always double-click to hide white space at the top, right? And this is how you, when you go to let's say we're at the top of the document, and you double-click, you can actually get rid of all the spaces in between that quickly. It's all gone. It syncs it all back up. But when we double-click again, it opens it all back up again, right? And you can do this just between pages as well. I'm sure you guys all understand that. But that's how you close it up for easy reading and viewing and going up and down. So something that I love and I think is a really cool feature of the more modern Word is the ability to customize your ribbon. All right, so you go to File. You're going to go down to your options, and then from options you can go to proofing. I'm going to go to a couple different things here right now. I'm going to go to customize ribbon first. We'll go to customize ribbon, and here we can add the different commands that we may want to add to our ribbon or add to our top that we'll have access to. Here's a really cool thing. I'm going to go all commands, all right, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to select where am I at here? Let's see here. So commands. Oh, that's the quick access tool. But I can go in here and I can change my bullets out. I can add those. I can to whatever part that I want. I can go through any one of these things and add it to the right side. Let's say character border. Let's say I want to add that. Bam. Command needs to be added to custom groups, blah, blah. I didn't select a group for it to go to yet, so I don't know. We'll just say I want it to go there for the heck of it. And so that's where we'd go in there and we'd add whatever we want, whatever we're looking to add at the time. We can go to our quick access toolbar, and you can go hit all commands, and this is a cool feature that I want to show you. And you can add a calculator to your Word document. So let's go down to calculator, calculate. All right, and we're going to hit add. I have already added it to the document, by the way. Then we'll hit OK. And I just deleted it because I added it before, but at least you're going to get to learn how to do it. And there's another way of doing this, by the way, folks. I don't have to go that way too. I can go up here and I can go down to my more commands. and it brings up my quick access toolbar just like that without going to the file and options. That's the other thing. I wanted to show you both different ways of getting in there as well. So now you see there's 2 ways of getting to these additional commands. So we're going to go back and we're going to add our calculator back. And this is cool if you know that you're going to have any type of an equations within the document that you're doing. You're going to do add and click OK. And bam, it should now be added back to our bar. But it shouldn't be doing that. All right.
So is it another tab, Rich, or what is that?
Well, what it is when I click on that, and when let's say that I go right here, just out of the blue, I'm going to randomly type an equation. So I'll do this. Bam, I'll do equal 102 plus 256, for example. And I'll do that. And then hit enter. And this will automatically, I'll be able to automatically, my thing just disappeared up here. Doggone it. Not all is let's go back to where I wanted it to be here. There we go. Back over here. Thing just threw me off my game, folks. Sorry about that. We're going to move right along, and I know I'm going to get that back here. It should be right here, though. Should be open that. Print, quick response. Show the above ribbon. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. So when you hit here, you should automatically be able to do your addition and subtraction features. So we'll go here, do this, to equal 256 plus, I don't know, 635. Highlight that like this. All right. Then we're going to go and hit this little round thing. And look, it shows at the very bottom, it gives you the results of the calculation just by hitting that little white dot, little white circle at the top. Did I totally confuse everybody on that yet? Or did you understand what I did?
I understand what you did, but I don't understand why. I guess I'm not seeing why you did it. I mean, I get that you're just showing us, but I don't know why we would do.
I did it so that you can actually put equations within a document if you want to and come up with the answers. It's just a cool feature that it may be useful, may not be useful depending on what you're doing. I know that for me, it's not really that useful of a feature as far as I'm concerned, but for others, who knows what project you might be working on, what you might be working on. It's just something to know that there are other functions within Word that are not up in this toolbar that a lot of us aren't aware of. And it's just another function that you can add to utilize. If you go through that, there are, I mean, dozens and dozens and dozens of different functions you can add to your Word. You can make your Word your own.
So if you have a table in your Word doc, will that function calculate a table?
It most certainly will. You absolutely can use it.
Okay, because then I can see where it would be useful. Okay.
Yes, you can use it. And we can get to verticals and stuff like that. That'll probably be for another day in the verticals, because that's another thing that's confusing, because you can almost use Word almost like Excel in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things you can do in Word that Excel does as well. So it's good stuff to know. While I'm in here, I might as well go over some of this stuff. That's the format painter. I think a lot of people know if you highlight something for a format of, let's say I'm highlighting this as a format for the format painter. I just erased that to the old format I had. All right, that's what format painter is. And Kim is the one that actually first taught me that particular feature. I'll never forget when she taught me how to do that. So kudos to Kim. Next thing you can do is if you want to select text vertically is when you hit the Alt key, let's go where you want to go, your vertical text, hit your Alt key, and then do your selection. And you can actually select text vertically instead of horizontally, which is another cool feature if you're trying to delete something or add something or whatever you might be doing on that. Somebody's got some heavy breathing going on. I know I'm breathing a lot, but man, there we go. All right, and The next thing I want to go ahead and point out to you is the one that everybody's always looking. Let's say I need a 200 word document. You can go down here. It'll always tell you the number of words, the number of pages, the number of characters you have, paragraphs, the number of lines that are in your document. This is extremely important for us, believe it or not, because they're all too often we're given very specific parameters about things that we write when it comes to marketing. A lot of things they'll say, hey, we want a 70-word description of Flycast Partners, or we want a 270-word description of Flycast Partners, or you need a 500-word document for a blog, because most blogs are 500 words. That's typically where your blogs are. That is a great feature. And that's not the only place that you can get it, but it's a quicker and easier place to get it than going up to, you can go up into review. Click on it. Go into review, and here you can also get a word count. If you hit word count, it'll tell you the word count of your document as well. It gave us the same exact information just by hitting word count, but it's just much faster to go ahead and use this down here. All right, just another quick and easy tool to utilize. We did vertically. As far as proofing, this is a neat feature, guys. We want to go to File, you go down to Options, and go to Proofing. I'm sure everybody understands what proofing is. And here you can actually change the rules as far as autocorrect is concerned. Let's say that you want a particular word to be spelled a different way than the way this is spelling things. Well, this is where you make those changes at. You can tell this to give you readability statistics, which is something that Evans went over when he was talking about emails the other day. It'll tell you the readability of the document. You can tell this, I can tell to hide all the errors, spelling errors and grammar errors in this document only, so that when anybody goes in to this document, they're not going to see any of the errors. They're not going to be highlighted. They'll be gone and out of here. This is a place to go in and just play around. You can play around with the settings. When you go into the settings, you can literally look for wordiness, words expressing uncertainty. You can tell Word to point out sections of your document that express uncertainty, and it's going to highlight these things so that you can go ahead and change them or remove them. You can go ahead and be inclusive language for gender-specific language. You can have it use cliches and vague adjectives. I mean, look, the number of things you can allow it to do slang, to accept different slang terms and slang words. You can also do your punctuation changes based on Oxford or unnecessary comments. So there's quite a few different things. Change the spacing between sentences. This is where you would do it at. And you can require punctuation with all of your quotes. So like I said, you can literally make Word anything you want it to do simply by going into this options backside of the tool. Are there any questions about the proofing? Because that's kind of an important tool to utilize when you're working on a project. No questions? All right. Let's see. Did we go over the autocorrect yet? Let's see. I think we need to. We kind of went over the autocorrect rules, I think, already by showing you can go to create your by going proofing and going to autocorrect options, or it's just right here. Bam. Same thing. Go in here. You can change the uses of the caps lock key, capitalizing names of days. You can actually make it so it won't capitalize names of days. You can go in here and select different types of rules when it comes to different types of words. You can I can type in here customer spelled this way. Well, from now on, I want this tool to spell customer with a UR, and it'll adopt that rule in Word, and from now on, it'll auto-replace everything spelled as customer with a UR. So that's kind of a cool feature that you can go in and make any change to anything that you want with this. And it does include your math autocorrect. When you're doing math problems, you can go in here and you can select different things you want it to do as far as math is concerned, etc. Any questions on that?
Doesn't this also utilize AI as well? So if you do something repetitively,
it will adopt that practice, yes, automatically. The latest version of Word it learns that when you tell it over and over again, you want to do it a certain way in the document. And some of these settings that you do on the quick access toolbar, the settings that you do in the quick access toolbar, a lot of those will carry over from document to document. Those will carry over. But as you continue to make corrections or change things in Word, it's going to automatically go in there and adopt those things because it knows that that's what your preferences are. So every time anybody else decides to sign into your Word, which they shouldn't be doing anyway, they're going to inherit your rules. Any questions? Nope, no questions. Everybody knows how to find and replace things. We went over that. Well, you can also do that with pictures as well. So did I put a picture in here yet? I didn't. So let's show how to insert a picture. I'm going to take a picture here. We're going to insert, I'll insert this picture in here. That is a great picture we have of Bill and the team. I want to make this so I can move this picture anywhere I want it just by simply doing this. I'm just going to bring it down here. And what I've done is I've taken it so the picture is no longer anchored, right? So I can move it anywhere I want in the document, however I want in the document, simply by going over here and clicking on this guy right here behind text. All right, and I can anchor this document and make it stay exactly where I want. I can do a fixed position on the page by simply selecting fixed position. So now that picture is not going to go anywhere. Now I've decided that I don't like that picture anymore. I want to go ahead and change that picture. You're going to right click, then you're going to go from a file, and we're going to change that picture to, I don't know, we're going to change it to this picture. That it quick and easily. That's all you have to do. And you can change your pictures out that. And you can actually do this. You can change all your images throughout the entire document by using quick keys. And it's a little bit more complicated. And I think that would be something for another day because it's actual, you know, it's a little formula that you use. But it's kind of a cool way to do things pretty fast. You'll also notice that you can create a table of contents. All right, so let's see, we're going to go here under references and we go to table of contents and we can select the type of table of contents that we want this document to have. I'm not going to absolutely go in and obliterate the table of contents we've already got created in this document, but yeah, well, maybe I can. I'm just going to go, let's do this one. We're going to go like this. And so it's going to automatically change. It just changed the table of contents to this. Of course, I'm going to have to do some reformatting now because of what I did, but it'll create a table of contents for you there. You can insert headers and footers anywhere, and you'll notice all you have to do to insert a headers is to double click where the header should go, and you can literally insert images in there. You can insert text. You can insert anything you want, and you'll notice that when I did do that, it took me to design to go ahead and adjust the size of the header, and then I can close my header or footer from there. And when you go to design, I don't want that one. I want to go to insert. Go to insert, and then I can select header instead of the double click. So first way was I double clicked and I got right there without any problem. Second way is to go to insert and hit on header, and I can also select my header and insert different things within the header. I can go to the footer. I can also add page numbers where I want the page numbers to go. I can insert text boxes, comment boxes. We can add a signature line wherever we want to add that at. There's all kinds of different functionality and keys within this section that you can utilize to enhance your document. So for this first version of Word, this first version of Word demonstration, I should say, are there any questions on what I've gone over so far?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When you were messing with the picture, I saw you kind of like stop. You pretty much clicked off the picture like when it was over the text, and the text didn't move to, you know, adjust to fit it in there. I was just wondering how you were able to do that.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, let me get rid of this real quick. We're going to delete this. I'm going to show you right now. We're going to insert another picture real fast. Okay. I'm going to go insert. I'm going to go to pictures. I'm going to choose my picture from a file. See how it just shows up wherever the heck it wants to show up at? I am going to click on this little guy right here, and I'm using these functions here allow me to put it behind the text because that's where I want. Each one's going to tell you where you want it. Do you want it square? Yeah, we're going to square it up in the document. Do I want it in here? Let me go where you can see what it is. This says I want it tight, through, top and bottom, where it'll have the text over the top and bottom of it. This is where I want to put it behind the text. The reason why I select behind the text is because it allows me to move the image anywhere I want, and then I can put it in front of the text where it literally will hide the text, okay, because it's in layers. Maybe we should go over layering a little bit, but layering is something that we do a lot in PowerPoint. I think we already went over that in the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so right now I've got this image. I can move this image anywhere. I can put it over top here like that. I can move it here, and I can use the guidelines to center it. As you can see, the green lines show up. See how I'm able to center it because the guidelines show up automatically for it. All right. And right now, that image is anchored where it's at. It's not going to go anywhere. So when I email it. So by doing that, I've saved myself some issues. But I did mess up my fly and my other things by doing it as well. Great question. Any other questions? Good deal. Well, that's all I had for this presentation. I think I went through that a little too fast. But if anybody wants the notes that I have I'll probably go ahead and send those out to you guys that are on this if you want those. And maybe we'll do a little bit more advanced thing on Word if anybody wants it. But if you have any questions, just come to me. I can pretty much show you around here. I think I take a lot for granted. I mean, especially this title stuff. I'm sure you guys know how to select different designs, and you can select different paragraph designs, etc., by using the design and layout areas. I use that quite a bit. Let's see, what are some of the things? And of course, making envelopes and labels, it'll automatically set that up for you so that you can just start typing in what you want it to do. And we want to views Acrobat. You can go here and create and send for review. You can put Acrobat comments. You can create a PDF. Everybody should have that capability. And Matt, I think you were about to ask a question.
I was actually asking, are you going to kind of go over a little bit the special paste options that you have? So say you copy text from a website and you want to not maintain
that's easy.
Formatting and all that good stuff. I don't know if everybody knows that stuff, but I thought that might be something that could be good for people.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. Yeah, no problem at all. Let me get out of my table of comments here. We'll play around under Bill's name in here is where we'll move our cursor to. Somewhere down here, or maybe down here. We'll get rid of this picture. Bam. All right, so I'm going to go to a website. Let's go to our website. I have that open all the time. Anyway, I'm going to copy and paste the information on our cloud security. So I'm copying the information. It's obviously Control-C. Clicking here, this is where I want this information to go. All right, so I've got the different paste options. We hit this paste option, it's going to keep the source formatting. See how it's not going to work in the document at all? It's absolutely going to look disastrous. It's not going to fit. You go to merge formatting, and it's going to try to keep the format of the original of how it was where it originally came from, but it's also going to adopt the font and the boldness, etc., of this particular document. Then I can go to keep text only, and it's going to 100% match the formatting of the document I'm pasting in. That's what you're looking for, right, Matt?
Exactly. I don't know if everybody knows those things, so that's why I wanted to make sure you brought that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you take for granted when you're using the tool quite a bit. So great question. Any other questions? Comments? All right, folks. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join me on Microsoft Word. I'll make sure we get this video out, and I hope that everybody learned at least one or two things.